Yo, we're back with more Bleach! Oh my goodness gracious. Tacticuba, I don't know what's going on with you right now, but you wanted to release a two-parter ending to the season finale. I assumed it was gonna end soon, but like, I didn't expect it to like just flat out be a two-parter out of nowhere, and then had to make me get the fuck out the bed and make an instant video immediately. But enough with the fucking around, let's get instantly into it. Let's get into all the points I thought was fucking phenomenally and fucking cool, right? One, super cool that I now have a smaller stepsister, because my wife Yoruichi, I didn't know she had a sister the whole time, but now I got a stepsister. She's very cute, gonna take care of her. It's gonna be amazing, trust me. It's gonna be a very beautiful family, gonna take over the clan nevertheless. But something I actually wanted to get into that's extremely important to the overarching thing that is called Bleach is just the importance but the scary thing of a person called Urahara, right? Now he has like a fucking infinite win-loss ratio. I don't think he's ever lost. I don't think he's ever going to lose, right? But the thing is, he's like a master ace planner, just like how Aizen is, right? He's done a whole bunch of shit in the whole series to plan out things, to forcibly do things for certain scenarios to go a specific way and things to go in his favor, right? And that generally scares me because he would always put the society above everything else. Meaning like he would obviously always use like Ichigo for whatever purposes that he needs to use him for, almost so much to the point where like he lost his powers for a little bit and then he obviously regained it back. I know obviously it's from his choice at the end of the day, but still he still sort of manipulated this whole situation, the whole scenario to sort of come to be. But again, just the most important thing is so much scary to the point where other characters have to come out and be like, I hope you're not using Yoruichi or Ichigo for whatever purposes that you're going to use, or just to save the Soul Society and get them killed in a process of you wasting out time, or whatever the case may be, like he's done before.
敵の足止めになれば死んでもええ思て、イチゴやヨルイチ生かしてんちゃうやろな。
In the last 2 arcs ago when the Aizen arc had happened, and all he had to do was like really stall out time. And I don't think it would be as far as stress to go and say like only a little bit, but just to say that him and Aizen are different sides of the same coin, if you will. But just in that small 2 minutes, I thought that was just fucking awesome just to see it and watch that happen. Now time to get to the amazing best part, which is obviously the fights, where you have Yuaba versus Ichibi and his fucking super extremely overpowered abilities of being able to erase your fucking name and not be able to do either certain actions, remember certain words, and you were just like weakened to a state where you sort of can't really do much, or weakened so much to the state where you're half power, like how he does to Yuaba. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, which I wanted to make sure I got clear, so please give me any clarity in the comment section if I do get this wrong, but I'm assuming that just because Yuaba has the right hand or right arm of the Soul King, that he doesn't get affected as much, or he doesn't get affected by all of Ichibi's attacks when he tries to send him back all the way down to Soul Society, or he tries to like get him the fuck up out of there, or even when he tries to seal his voice up, which is cool as fuck and wild as hell because he promised him, he's like, I'll seal your voice away this time, and he actually does it. But getting back to that, I really want to talk about the Royal Guards versus Squad Zero and how sort of cool of a fight it is, because they get fucking blown out of the water by just one of them alone, right? But one of them still barely surviving. Fake ass Aizen's ass is still fucking alive, and he sort of feels like sort of like what Gisele is, where it's like a red herring, right? Where it's like it's a fake false attitude of like what that person can do or usefulness they are in a certain way and form, right? With him having the power of like making your blood lethal, right, to a certain degree. So if you have a certain amount of blood, then that's like too fucking much and that you could just die, or the case may be, which is pretty insane or pretty cool power to have. It's like it was the bad scenario of like him having a super bad matchup of this other Squad Zero member that can actually give you back blood, as well as him taking away his own blood by cutting himself and him just getting sort of fucked over in that regard. Now it's time to get into the insanity part, right? And this is what I'm talking about. Tacticuba pump faked me like 80 times. He broke my neck 72 times in a goddamn row, where he, in this second part, before the second part of this fight starts, right? And obviously most of them are already dead, the Royal Guards, and then some of even Yuhaba's side piece, I mean his second in command, if you will, had died as well. Get all of them become resurrected and super fucking strong, all because Yuhaba takes everyone that is in the Soul Society, or majority of people that are in the Soul Society, and takes all of their power and pushes it into all either himself / all the royal guards. My jaw dropped to the floor, but realistically I should have been surprised. I was just surprised because I think it happened in the moment, but realistically if you think back to everything that happened, Yhwach was already taking other people's powers, i.e. like all the people that was like around him, all his Quincy's, his fellow quote-unquote comrades and Quincy's. He's already took their powers before when they died, so it would sort of go in his nature and be super unsurprising when he takes all of the powers of the Quincy's that are on the Soul Society, right? Except for obviously Gisele and also the other girl that was in the group too. I just forgot her name. She just has a really big ass mouth. And honestly sad to see that Gisele's crazy stupid ass is still alive, and she's already been feeding on Bambi still, and just still fucking with Bambi, just like eating her for her blood and all the other nasty stuff. So she really is a zombie if you want to be technical with it. And it's also sad again to see because all the Quincy's are so loyal to Yhwach, and they just didn't really figure out or notice like, hey, this is gonna happen. So they all started sort of freaking out and say, Yhwach, are you serious? This is what we're really gonna do? I thought we were loyal to you, your comrades, your everything, sort of basic. And the last side note for that episode too is like he also said that this is a power that takes away all the powers that gave to the Quincy's that don't need it and to the ones that do need it. So code word for the weakless fucking losers, take that shit away and give it to the actual rightful owners and to make the stronger even stronger. But now going back to his part 2 of this fight, right, where like they get to run back to round 2 now with the royal guards getting their amp, they just fucking completely hold the shit out of the fucking Soul Reapers, right? They just get sort of demolished and destroyed, and one of them was like pretty atrocious and the other one was super interesting in my opinion because like again he went to a little bit more detail. Now the one that was atrocious is the Hot Spring Soul Reaper. Like he literally just got someone how can I explain this, right? So the guy literally pulls like an Usopp he's running from, and then all he does is like a Tomb Raider backflip over the guy and hits him with an arrow, and then he's just done. I'm like, are you serious right now? Okay. I was like, you fucking mid. You fucking, they're having a mid-off right now. What the hell? But the one that was the most interesting is the #1 Zanpakuto creator, and then as well as the fight between him and the sniper guy, right? Now him and the black sniper guy, it was super fucking rad. And the reason why I thought it was super cool is because obviously he has the ability to shoot someone with his bullet that's not really a bullet. It can go through any surface, as well as it'll reach its target, right? It'll only go to the specific target. Now the #1 Zanpakuto creator doesn't really have that in mind, so he just thinks like it'll go through him and hit Yhwach if it's like if Yhwach's behind him, and then the bullet will go through him to hit Yhwach. But that's not how his power works. It only hits the target that he wants to hit, and it'll go through anything in between. So he doesn't figure that out, and then he just gets hit by the bullet, and he just like gets immediately fucked. That was actually a pretty cool thing, a cool fight that happened. That was like pretty short. But the last insanely cool thing before I talk about the last fight with Yhwach and Ichibi, right, is the Bankai that gets used, right? Now I think it's sort of sucky that they all had to die sort of so they can just like release, one of them can release a Bankai, and even though it's insanely powerful and tremendous, right, like it said it'll shake all of the realms, like all the realms that we've seen before in Bleach, it'll shake all of them by just them using their Bankai. So that's why they had to seal it up. So I guess that's understandable, but it just really sucks that they all had to die for it to happen. But what happens is like everyone just gets tortured, everyone that's in the royal guard and just Yhwach in general like gets tortured, and it feels like they get put into like a sealing jutsu, if you will. And the thing I think that's the most coolest about this is like, one, it is pretty cool that they get put in these velvet rooms like in a Persona S setting. That's pretty rad. But also that like this wasn't in the manga either, is what I saw on Twitter. Like I had seen on Twitter that this wasn't in the manga, and there's something like anime that was actually put on by Tite Kubo. So shout out to Tite Kubo for that. This is really cool, and it was done with an extremely well execution. So I was pretty hype and happy about that. I also love how it seemingly Ichibi just completely destroys Yhwach in a way of like Yhwach tried to steal his power, but apparently he controls and owns everything that is black. I don't know how people are gonna feel about that one. No, I'm just kidding. But Yhwach paints him in blackface and literally makes a foot and stomps him back down the hell or the society, if you will. And he says Shadow's favorite line: "Disgusting black creatures, get out of my sight." But insanely cool enough though, all jokes aside, is like he was able to actually steal his name or take away his name and give him that name of Ant. and he just squished him like a fucking ant. And I was like, that was raw. I was like, that was pretty raw, Ichibi. You got bonus points for that one. That was pretty cool. But that seems to be it. This seems to be like, I guess, the end of the season until we get the last. I'm pretty sure the last season. Am I right? Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure we have enough for like one more season, like manga worth. I had to like look it up for like a little bit of a second. It looks like it's like a season of the cases. I didn't get spoiled, so don't worry about that. But yeah, again, I'm super happy about Bleach it coming back and then having such a great time making videos as well as everyone enjoying them. So again, thank you guys for all your support. Thank you for all the love. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace. Goodbye.